Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Tiffany Parra, host of the Girl Powerhouse on Mupo TV. Now, today we are going to go ahead and we are celebrating the women around the world. We here are celebrating the girl powerhouses that are making those changes, that are really inspiring us to just step into our greatness. So today I have an amazing young woman that is going to be joining me, and we are going to be talking about something that's a little outside of the box, but it is very, very awesome and something that's going to help to get you to the other side. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring my guest on in. Hello, DeVika Lyles. How are you today?
I am great, Tiffany. Thank you so much. I'm DeVika Lyles, and I am just so glad to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. And I am just so excited to just have this conversation with you, DeVika. Now, everyone, let me just tell you a little bit about DeVika. Now, DeVika is a sexologist. As you can see here, she is also an instructional designer and a coach. Now, when you hear sexologist, you're like, oh, right? But we're going to actually get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about what sexology is and how DeVika is able to help people to really flourish in their relationships by just tuning in and tapping in. So, DeVika,
Sure.
please tell us what exactly is sexology?
It's a really fun name for people who study sex and sexology. We are in all areas, and most people know us as clinical sexologists, and those are the people who people go to when they have like problems and erectile dysfunction, and those are the people who, like doctors, can prescribe medicine, can prescribe treatment. And then there are just varying people that are not able to do that, but we still study sex and sexology. And some people are sexuality educators, some people are lactose coaches, when they teach people how to latch on. And I am a transformative sexologist, and I bring transformative education to sexology to support people in education and doing whatever they need to do to break up whatever conversations they have around sex and sexology so they can have delicious lives.
Wow. Now tell me, have you always been like into this subject? Has it always been something that has been an interest to you? I mean, when you think back to in high school, we'll go back to high school.
Yeah, I can go back further than that.
Okay, let's go back even further.
I think that um, I've wanted to do this my whole life. I think that when I started asking about where babies come from, my parents didn't just give me like an off the wall answer. They actually gave me a book. And I started to read and ask questions. And then I'd go to slumber parties, and little girls would have slumber parties, and they'd have information. And I'd give them the right information until I stopped getting invited to slumber parties. And I remember. And then I remember thinking, oh, this is super important to people, but I have to be old. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, because I was like 12 at the time, and I was like, I have to be old because people won't listen to me. So I had to be in my 40s because for 12, 40 was really old. So then I decided stuff like I wanted to be a vet, but in the background, I always wanted to be a sexologist. And I thought about radio for a while. My dad is in radio, but when I went to college, this is all I've ever studied. This is all I've ever really been passionate about. And everything that I've done has come back to helping people with their bodies, helping people with how they love, helping people have deliciously orgasmic lives. That's like my life's work.
Oh, I
So
love it.
ever.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
goodness,
forever.
I love it. So when you think about it, like who would be your ideal client for?
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of people are like, oh, well, you want to help people with problems. No, I respectfully, uh, to come from the space of that you have a problem means I have to fix something. And
Mm.
that for me is not what I want, especially for Black and brown people, and especially for the LGBTQ community that I really help. I don't want anyone to ever think that they are broken or that they need fixing. We have a lot of enough of that. And so what I want is to help people who have goals, who have like, hey, I want to get over here. Like I'm the personal trainer of sex and sexology. Like I want a healthy sex life. I want more communication. That is not a problem. That's actually a natural want and a natural desire. And I help people fulfill on that. So on the personal side, anyone who is a sex positive parent that maybe their kid just came out as trans, or maybe they don't even know how to talk to their kids, whoever they are, they don't know how to talk to their kids about sex. Couples who are interested in more, not just couples, but people in relationships who want intimacy. And also just people who really want to connect and who have a desire to grow their relationships. Right now, I'm in a conversation about who should pay. So I also take on like traditional and non-traditional conversations. So on the personal side, there's coaching, there's education. On the corporate side, who would really be an ideal client for me? Somebody who wants to do diversity and equity inclusion conversations. How to actually have people who are diverse feel seen, heard, and welcome as a contributing force in their workforce. And so those are the two places I would like to work on. And then for me personally, a client who wants to work with sexologists, because we are our own industry and we were just talking about this. We need marketers. We need people to do logos. We need people to do our back office. And so if somebody wants to get in with that industry, I would love to partner with them so that my folks have support, because we as an industry, we don't get that much support.
Yeah. What has been the most difficult or the most challenging in growing your business so far?
Probably what I just said is that we don't get a lot of support. People hear about us and they, delete us from their email list, or they, report us, or they report my account, or they report my TikTok. They or if I try to process certain things through certain end vendors, they're like, is this pornographic? And so it's just it's people not understanding that the professionalism that a sexologist has. That's probably the most challenging. And then, sounding like I'm distancing myself from my fellow sex workers. No, they provide a service as well. We just provide a different service. And then when people conflate that, then nobody wins. And I think that's the most challenging is that there's not actually a really clear listening or a clear understanding of what we are and what we do.
Yeah. And see, and that's when I said that, and I think when I first saw you, online,
yeah.
Like, what is this? And that was one of the first things that came to mind was pornography. But that's the closed-mindedness, right? That's how we, as we grow up, especially I think our generation, because our parents were so closed-minded to it. You couldn't mention these things in the household at all. I mean, I remember, having my mother tell me, you got to turn that down when Erotic City from Prince came on. You can't listen to that.
Wow.
So,
well, and not only in the generation, but there's also cultural distinctions. There's also economic distinctions. There's a lot of places and spaces where people are cut off from just a very natural conversation about what it is that we do. And because the area that we take is very taboo, people assume that what I do all day is talk about porn or something. And for me, I'm like, oh, that sounds way more interesting than what I actually do. That sounds great, but that's not what I actually. It's wonderful, but that's not actually. I probably talk about that like once every 2 or 3 weeks, but no. And so to get people to hear that difference and to say, oh, wait, there's more to it than what, the pornography or the something bad or, the something weird. And so to help with that, I've created 7 sexological conversations where I really map out the 7 areas of sex and sexology that people are actively talking about,
Okay.
ongoingly talking about, but don't associate weirdly enough with my field. And yet they talk about it. A couple of examples would be abortion laws. That is definitely a sexological conversation.
Definitely.
But we separate it from let's have healthy conversations around it. Gender identity, that is definitely a sexological conversation. We have a lot of people who have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, but not a lot of education and not a lot of sexological background to support the conversations that they're having. So people are having sexological conversations. They think it's just if I'm not talking about sex, like the act of sex, I'm not actually having a sexological conversation. And where I come in is I actually bridge the gap between that thought process.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and talk about the benefits that people get from working with you. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
And we are back. This is Tiffany Parra with Girl Powerhouse on Mupo TV. That was a word from our sponsor, Mupo. And I tell you, every time I see that commercial, I just dance in my seat back here. So let's go ahead and talk about the benefits, DeVika, that clients get when they come into your programs and things like that. So give us some examples of some of those different benefits.
Sure. I was like, when I was picking it apart, I'm like, I don't know that they're going to like, some of these things are so good. They sound too good to be true. So one that I had a really long time ago, she was actually going to be standing at the end of the month in court with a very abusive ex. And she was like, I can't dare to go and be part of this, but I have to fight for my kiddos. And I said, okay, so I mapped out a program and we were going to meet every week for that month. And I said, look, because I'm not a counselor, I'm a coach, I give them assignments. They go out and they do those assignments and they come back and then they let me know. Yeah. So it's the first one. She is anxiety ridden. She is just, I can't even think about it. I said, okay, through my coaching with her, I gave her an assignment. So she goes out, she does the assignment. She comes back and she's like, yeah, I think I'm good. I'm like, what do you mean you're good? She's like, no, I really got what I needed to get. And I'm okay. And I said, well, you have 2 more sessions. She says, no, I got what I came for and I'm good. And at the end of the month, she fought for her kids. She is now remarried. They have more kids. She is in a healthy relationship and she never looked back. Like never. I never heard. And this is one of the things I want to say. I know I've done my job when either I've never heard from my clients again, or I've never heard from them about that particular issue again, because I'm all about disappearing whatever is in the way. So if we have to keep talking about it, I'm going to look at myself. Like, what am I not doing to create a clearing? Yeah. Another client just this past week, she did my recent Cuddle Sutra course. And I was telling you about the Cuddle Sutra. And we talk about, enthusiastic yeses and powerful declines. And she had been thinking, a lot of people, they think about saying, I don't think I'm getting paid enough. And when she did my course, she says, no, I'm just going to go ask because I know what I want. So she went in and she said, look, this is what I believe. This is what I think. And she made a powerful quest and powerfully stood there, and they come back and they're like, yeah, you're right. We have been underpaying you. And it turns out they had been underpaying her like $10,000.
Wow.
And so, right. And so, so that's just some of the things. I get people who have financial breakthroughs. I have people who get relationship breakthroughs. I get people who discovered that they are the source of love. I have one client, she hired me and she says, well, you know, my relationships have either been this or that, casual or like we're talking about marriage. And I've never gotten to really explore relationships and have them be deep and wonderful. And so she hired me, and we're like 3 weeks in. When she hired me, she was obsessed with this one man that was not interested in her. She was dating people that kind of were fillers, but not exactly anything that she was interested in. And just, we've now turned a corner about the fourth session. She has totally, I was like, you know, you haven't talked about that man in quite some time. So she's gotten rid of the one that wasn't for her. That, you know, she got rid of the ones that she wasn't interested in. And now she has had at least 2 really powerful dates with somebody who she is like falling madly in love with. And she's like, but it was so easy. And so that's some of the benefits that we can do together. It is on an individual basis. But if they're coachable, if they're willing to commit, and if they're willing to just look without anything being wrong, the miracles that we can create, I don't even know yet. I don't even know what my best client has gotten yet because we haven't created it yet.
Oh my goodness. And I just love, I mean, I know you help men and women, and it's, but I love hearing about the women, right? Because we're talking about girl powerhouses, and you're giving them the keys to step into that girl powerhouse greatness, right? And just be able to get to that other side. And I just, oh my God, I just love it. So tell me, like, what advice would you give some of these, you know, girls, women that are out there and they're kind of struggling, trying to figure out what they want to do, you know, society and family, sometimes they put us inside of that box and they want us to think real traditional, right? And so, like, what's some advice that you can give them to just step outside the box and maybe take that non-traditional role by the horns and just go?
Well, first, and you know, you asked me this question, and the first thing you want to do is get complete with whatever you think is traditional. Like, you can't just say, I don't want that, and then create something else, because that's not how the universe works. If you are rejecting something, that something is going to be like, why don't you want me? Why don't you need me? Why don't you love me? And then all you're going to get is more of the same. So the first thing is to really get complete. It's not about, I don't want traditional. It's not about rejecting something. It's about really having a conversation and saying, look, this is what I want. I want someone who sees me as an equal. Traditional relationships don't see that. I want somebody who honors my dreams. And you just keep saying what you do want.
Yeah.
And then don't engage with traditional men. Now, traditional men who are pretending to be traditional, and you got to learn the difference. They will do stuff like, well, I ain't going to open the door for you if you're not traditional. That's not a traditional man. And that's not the kind of man that you want. That's a man that is angry about you not wanting what you want. I mean, what he wants. And so what you want is someone who can honor who you are without needing to diminish that you are wanting what you want. And so you have to start asking questions. Don't ask questions like, do you think a woman should pay 50-50? Because that's not going to actually give you the answer. The answers are things like, how do you feel about yourself when your partner doesn't need to rely on you? That you want to get at, like, what you're really asking. Because when you say traditional, we still want people to be respectful and chivalrous, and we still want people to open the doors and pull out our chairs, and we still want to be treated like ladies. What we don't want is our independence to be a threat to someone else. We don't want our autonomy to be a threat to someone else. So you have to really get to, when you say traditional, what do you want? And that's why I'm saying you can't just say, I don't want traditional. You have to look at, what do I want? And then go for that. Because you want to ask the questions. right? And what do you bring to the table? That's an interview question. That's not a relationship question. That's a question for employees. If he's asking you that question, just say, check. That I bring the check to the table. It's time for me to go now, because that conversation is not leading anywhere. So you really want to start focusing on what do you want.
Yeah.
It's not about what you don't want. It's about what do you want, and then letting that show up in your life.
Seeing that's the power of manifestation, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're going to cut to one more quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the defining moment when you stepped into your girl powerhouse greatness.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we'll be right back. We are back. This is Tiffany Parra with Girl Powerhouse on MUFO Entertainment, MUFO TV. And if you guys do not have it on your iOS or Android, definitely go to your app store, download MUFO Entertainment so you can stream this show and other shows, as well as many other shows that we have on MUFO with other individuals. So DeVika, all right, girl powerhouse. So when was that defining moment when you just stepped into that girl powerhouse greatness and just knew, like, hey, I'm a badass and I got this?
Yeah, wow, right? Like, wow. There'd been tiny moments where, like, oh, maybe I am a badass. No, I'm not. Maybe I'm a badass. No, I'm not. And there was this moment where I had been for years, I'd been a sexologist, and I knew, and I wanted to transform sexology so bad. And I kept going out into the world and going out into the world and going out. And I felt like I was running up against a wall. And then there were these people that I was working with inside of transformative education. And I was like, oh, I can't talk to them about sex. I could not, I didn't even let them know that I was a sexologist until one of them was like looking on my bookcase and like reading my books behind me. I was like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to know about that. And she was like, oh, in my business. And then I started getting invited to do talks with these people. And I was like, wait. I can actually just talk to people who actually want to have these conversations. It's not that I'm not a badass. It's that where I had been putting my energy was not a match for my energy. And there's so many places and spaces relationships where we will invest and pour and think that it's us and it's not us.
Right.
And as soon as I was in the middle of leading and I was working with these people and it said, Pooh. And I was like, oh, I'm a badass.
That's right.
And at first I was really afraid. I was like, well, maybe I'm only a badass in this area. No, what I got was, now that I knew what was missing, I could create that environment wherever I went. And so I had been out somewhere that wasn't a match. And once I got the ingredients of what it was to be a match, that's when I really started to say, okay, look, I'm a badass, to the point that degree that I'm sitting in front of, I did not put my degree anywhere visible. Yeah, I know. I didn't share this with you. It has not been here for more than 7 months.
Wow.
This is the last 7, maybe 8 months.
Oh,
Definitely not the last year, where I said, and I graduated like, I don't know, 2020, what was it? 2003. So almost 20 years ago, I've been a sexologist, and that has not been on my wall because I didn't feel like I earned it until I
wow.
really got that moment. And that's when I took it off. I said, okay, fine. I'm a badass. I earned every minute of this. And
Yes.
sometimes it's not us.
That's right.
Sometimes it's the space
That's
we're
right.
speaking into.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and sometimes when you are going through this journey, some of the people that are kind of pushing and things like that are going to be some of the ones that are a little closer to you, right? Because they don't understand it. This is your journey. This is my journey, right? It's not their journey. So I think once you tap in and realize that as well, that really helps us to be able to push and continue to, to just go through it, right?
Yeah, well, and especially when they're pushing and you're like, I don't know. And like, they're like, then they would tell me, you're just spending your time in the wrong places. And I was like, but these are the people that was when I was still thinking, I need to work with people who need my help. No. Once I got that you have to be my partner in your success,
Yes.
that you have to be, if you want success, you have to be committed as committed to your success as I am. Because if I'm over there pulling it for you, it we're done. I'm not doing that. Not gonna happen. So that moment has happened in the last year, and it made all the difference.
Oh, wow. Wow. So when you think about people that have inspired you through your journey, who is a girl powerhouse that really stands out, that really just helped you to just step into this journey?
Oh, you changed the question because you said before, because the question didn't ask me a particular person. You changed the question. Wow. I don't know. I think, oh, now that you changed the question, I think it really was discovering myself. I know that sounds a little, however that sounds to people, but discovering me, because I could always see greatness in somebody else, but discovering the greatness in myself and allowing that to actually be something I say out loud, that's probably like, I could say Michelle Obama and I could say all these other people.
Yeah.
I could say my mom, I could say Whitney, but getting it in me, looking in the mirror and seeing me over there and getting me over here, that was probably like the moment that I got that. That's probably the person.
And see, this is why I had to change that question, because I needed, someone else needed to hear that as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Just having, finding that self and having that unconditional love. I mean, through my journey, I did not have that self-worth. And once I found that self-worth, it was like all the toxic, all the everything started to fall away. And you just said it right there, like just believing in yourself and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I love me.
Yeah.
And I'm doing me. And that's that right there.
That's it. Because when they say, don't nobody love you better than you do, they mean that. And that means if you're not loving yourself well, it don't get no better than that. So you really have to start at home. And when you change that, I was like, oh, look at you. Look at you being sneaky. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that moment when I looked in the mirror and said, that chick over there, she's all right. She's a badass. We could do this. And then I became a clearing for other people to do the same.
I love it. I love it. So look, this time goes so fast. I tell you, I would wish we could just do it all over again. But now I'm going to say we're going to have to bring you back on the show, because I have so many more questions that I need to have answers for. So we are going to definitely bring you back probably within, we'll say, the next couple of episodes, and continue to dig in this. But DeVika, how can our audience get in touch with you if they want to work with you and just really, learn how to thrive in this area?
Okay, cool. So yeah, my bit.ly is down there at the bottom. Right now I'm doing a Cuddle Sutra in June. I invited you. They can also, I'm also on TikTok as TC4TS. I'm also on the Center for Transformative Sexology on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, they can also just pick up the phone and call and text me. My phone number is 720-588-3227. There's nothing wrong with the old-fashioned way, folks. 720-588-3227. And then my email address is dmarcellalyles.med@gmail.com. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everybody, you have every which way to contact and connect with DeVika so you too can, get help with some relationships. Maybe it's just tapping into yourself and just learning how to treat yourself well. This woman right here, she is going to get you in that right direction. So, DeVika, I want to just thank you so very much for joining us today on Girl Powerhouse. You are a true girl powerhouse. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. And all you girl powerhouses out there and all you up and coming girl powerhouses out there, I hope you got a lot of nuggets of wisdom through this because I know I did. And I will definitely be in that your next class for that Cuddle Sutra. So you can bet on that. I'm registering today. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Girl Powerhouse on Mupo Entertainment. If you have not downloaded us, go ahead and go to your iOS as well as your Android, whichever you have, download Mupo Entertainment so you can watch all of our episodes previously, as well as a bunch of amazing shows from some awesome people that are in the Mupo network. So at Girl Powerhouse, we honestly celebrate all of the women out there that are making things happen, that have made things happen, that have really just impacted the world in a really major way. So today I am so excited to bring on my guest to, celebrate today because we are actually ending the day. Today is the end of Women's History Month. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring on my guest. Hello, Miss Haley. How are you? Welcome, welcome,
Yes,
welcome.
yes, girl. So I have this special way of replying when somebody asks me how I'm doing. Can I get at can I get at it?
Yes, please, please.
Okay, well, I first of all, look, I do not own the rights to this music, so ask me again how I'm doing, girl.
How you doing, Pele?
All right. Ask me how I'm doing. I'm blessed. Yes. Living every moment, no regrets. Smile up on my face. I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yes, girl. How are you doing?
Yes, I am blessed. Yes, thank you so much. That just gave me some joy. So, everyone, let me go ahead and just let Miss Pele tell you a little bit about herself. I honestly, with my guests, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves because I can't do them justice. So Pele, please go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, where you are, and just a little bit about you.
Oh, yes. Well, first and foremost, I always want to give God all the honor, praise, and glory because I know for me, if it weren't for his love, mercy, and grace, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, yes, to God be all the glory. And I just want to thank you, Sis Tiffany. Thank you so much for reaching out and just to be a part of, your journey. It's a blessing to me. So, like we say, today is the last day of Women History Month because we are walking into April tomorrow. And today I want to honor every woman who's, on this platform. And I want to honor you, for your work and all that you have done. I celebrate every woman that's in my life, and I am blessed to be a part of everything, that they have poured into me and everything that they have done because I didn't get here by myself. So, with all that being said, my name is Fa'apipele Hunkin. I am named by the most beautiful grandmother of mine. Her name is Fa'apipele. And so I go by Pele for short because, a lot of people, they can't say my grandmother's name. And so I love my grandma. So I just tell them, hey, just call me Pele. And so Pele in my Samoan language means sweetheart, and that I am.
You
And so I
are.
want to say talofa. If you hear me say talofa, it's Talofa. And talofa in my Samoan language means hello. So, yes, talofa to each and every one of you. Thank you for making the time to hear me share my testimony, hear my story, and hear, God's glory. So, I am a mother of 4 beautiful children and a dog. Yes, I have a fur baby too. Yes. And so I am a Army retiree. I'm a widow. I remarried 10 years after Dean passed, after my husband passed. And so now I'm a divorcee. So I'm a survivor of a divorcee. And so I lost both my parents. And so, yeah, it's a lot. My journey is a journey of losses, but I want to share with you that you can do everything and anything, with God's help in your life. So I think that's a little bit, about me. I can't even, I just don't like to talk about myself because when I get on people's podcasts, I'm just ready to be a blessing to the platform. And so I cannot forget that I am the author of this amazing book. Look, if you haven't got this book, it is Heart of a Warrior, The Humble Journey of a Samoan Warrior. I released this book August of last year, and it is changing lives. And I thank God for this opportunity. And
Wow.
so, yes, I'm
Yes,
also
yes.
I'm a 10 times, co-author. I have co-authored 10 other
Wow.
books. And so, yeah, writing has been my thing. And so I give it all to him, And so, yes, that's a little bit about me because I'm ready to get into this conversation so I can be a
Yes.
blessing to the Mupo Entertainment. And I love Mupo Entertainment. I have a lot of friends who became family, in the Mupo Entertainment. And so, yes, let's get to it, Tiffany. I'm so grateful
Oh.
to you. And I just want to tell you I love you and thank
Oh,
you.
I love you too, sis. And I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much for your service because, we got to definitely put that out there to our servicemen and women,
Yes,
for everything that you all do. So let's definitely get on
yes,
into, more about Pele. So I
yes.
know, backstage we had talked a little bit about now a Samoan warrior. So what is the Samoan warrior called?
Oh, so in Samoa, we are called Toa o Samoa. Toa Samoa. So it's warriors or heroes of Samoa.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yes.
so
So I
beautiful.
I,
That's so
I am a
beautiful.
proud Toa o Samoa.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about just your journey as a sergeant first class, as a woman. I mean that's what this is all about. That's what this girl powerhouse is all about. It's really just digging into some of the women out there that have just really thrived in positions that are generally, men's positions, things like that. So tell us, just tell us a little bit about your journey to Army Sergeant First Class.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take us back to 1994. I was only 21 years of age back then, and I joined the Army. And so from 1994, and that was my first time in the United States and seeing snow, and I'm like, oh Lord, like, this is what America is like. And so it was a very different experience for me. And so from 1994 till I retired. And so, yes, as a sergeant first class in the military, in the Army, as a woman, it wasn't easy. Just being a woman in the military was hard, and I speak for myself. And but I tell you, I had great leaders. We all have great leaders and not so good leaders, and we all experienced that. But with my journey, I was blessed to have, good people, that good leaders who helped me, get to where I am today. But I just want to say that you have to earn it. Getting a rank, in the Army it's not a given. You have to earn it. And I was blessed to receive, this rank in 10 years in the military. And then I served, 19. So.
Wow. So what was the hardest part about being in the Army?
The hardest, me, because I'm very transparent and authentic with my journey. So the hardest part for me was ignorant people. That was the hardest thing for me, because all the tasks and everything that's given, it's, you have leaders that you receive an op order. And so it just tells you what, you need to do and stuff like that. But as a mother, though, in the military, the hardest time for me was when Dean, my husband, my kid's father, was when he was injured and he was in a coma for 6 months. And so I was in the military then, and I wanted to get out. He followed me, as a matter of fact, to Iraq. I was already a soldier there, and he came there as a contractor, for the military. And so, yeah. That was the hardest part for me. We had 3 biological children. And so, like I said initially, when I introduced myself, that I have 4 beautiful children, because I took one in, as my own. And so when Dean passed, after 6 months, when he was in a coma, I was really battling, staying in the military, because my oldest daughter was 8, my son was 6, and my youngest was 18 months. And so it was really hard for me, because he was the stay-home dad. I had asked him to please stay home and, keep our kids, because we had bad experience, with daycare and with babysitters. And so I would rather, him staying at home to care for our children, than for our children to be at daycare. So, I when I tell you I wanted to get out of the military, I literally put in, my request to be chaptered out, to leave out of the military because of hardship. But that's not what God's plan was for me.
Wow. Gosh. Oh, such a powerful story. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break. And
Okay.
We'll
All
be
right.
right back with Miss Pele.
Okay.
And we are back. This is Tiffany
Yes.
Parra with Girl Powerhouse. We have our special guest, Miss Paylay Hunkin, retired Army, what is it?
Sergeant
Sergeant
First
First
Class.
Class. Sergeant First Class. We got author, speaker, and mother of four. Oh my goodness. Man,
Oh, five, girl.
I mean, being out there and being a single mother in the military with three kids,
Yes.
I can't even imagine. Is there any just words of wisdom or words of encouragement that you can maybe give some of the women out there that may, go through that same type of situation?
Yes, man, I tell you, I just encourage to all my sisters who are out there serving. And when you become that single parent, I encourage you to believe in yourself. Hold on. I want you to believe in yourself because I
Yes.
believe in you. And the reason why I say that is because I had to believe in myself.
Yeah.
I had to believe that I can do it, that I have the courage. And so I just encourage all the women out there to know that you have the courage, you have the power, and you have the strength within you because it's an inside job. So it comes from within, and you have all that. You have all that it takes,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
overcome all that. Because, when I lost my children's father, lost my parents, went through a divorce, I almost lost my son in 20. I went through all this. And I promise you, there were many times in my journey that I want to give up, where I just want to throw in the towel. And,
Right.
but I encourage you to know your why. Ask yourself, what is your why in life? Because that's what happened to me. I had to believe that my why was so strong and my why was so big, and my why in life are my children and now my dog. you know and so it's my children and my dog. So let me clarify that, because I said the same thing, and my son overheard me. So then when his sisters came home, he was like, hey, mommy said Debo is her biggest why in life. I said, no, that's not what I said. I said, my children and my dog are my why in life.
Hey, the fur babies, they are our children as well.
Yes, yes. And so that's why I just want you to know that you can do it. You don't ever let anything or anyone take away that courage, take away that strength. You have that strength. And what I want to share of what helped me get to where I am was prayer and fasting. I believed in the power of prayers, and I believed in the power of fasting, because like I said, when I went through all that, I turned to alcohol as a
Mhm.
solution to my problem. And when I say I turned to alcohol, alcohol was my best friend. Can't nobody tell me nothing, but alcohol was my best friend. So I want to share this picture with y'all. This is my testimony. This was me back in 2018.
Wow.
This was me in 2018.
And you can see the sadness in your eyes, you know?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
right now, I want you to know that you can do it. It's an inside job. And it took my divorce for me to fly. Fly stands for first love yourself. And I encourage you to fly. First love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to be that change you want to see in your life. And that's what happened with me. So today I am proud to say that today is my day 458 of no alcohol, no soda, and just loving on Pele. I am flying. First, love yourself. And so that's what I encourage not just military women, every
Yeah.
women that's out there, because we put up with so much. We do so much for our families,
Right.
for others. But I just encourage you to take this moment and fly. First, love yourself. Take some time out for yourself and just
Yeah.
reflect on how far you have, come through, this far in life. And, I was, when I said that I am grateful for all that I was going through. I was grateful for the trials and tribulations, the challenges and everything. And then I was asked, how can I be so grateful? And so my reply was, you have to be at a space, you have to be at that place of gratitude, having that attitude of gratitude to
Right.
say that you are grateful. And I say that, I'm grateful. That's why I say I'm always grateful to her. You know why I'm
Yeah.
grateful to
Yeah.
her? Because she introduced me to who I am today.
That's
And
right.
that's what I compete with every day. I compete with the person I was yesterday because I am a work in progress. I continue to work on me every single day. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to meet people, and learn. And that's why I am so excited. I'm so grateful, to God for reaching out to Sister Tiffany and for her to reach out to me. And, I believe this is a divine connection.
Me
And so,
too.
yeah, just believe in yourself, believe that you can do anything and everything. Single parents, being a single parent is hard, even to the
Tough.
males out there.
It's tough.
Single parent is tough. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, when you allow God, that was my thing. I have allowed God to be the sole cornerstone of my life and my family. I was asked if I was a churchgoer, and I'm telling you, I am not a churchgoer. I am a believer. I believe, that God has brought me through this far because I want you to know that you are the church. Church starts at home. Church starts
That's
right
right.
here. Church
That's
starts
right.
with your heart. And so it's great. I love to go visit my church, but I don't go to church every single Sunday, but to me, it's my relationship with God that matters. I have a daily and an intimate relationship with God to where, he adds people in my life and he takes
Yes.
away people, from my life. And when he does that, I just say, Father God, thank you. And I believe
Yes.
that that's his way of protecting, my heart. So, and I want to say the same thing to you. So, yeah.
Right. That's right. Ooh. Look, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, and then we're
Okay.
going to come back. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that care, that
Okay.
self-care that we have
Yeah.
for us, and what that looks like for you. So
Yes. Okay.
we'll be right back.
All right.
Hello, and we are back with
Yes, we
Girl
are back.
Powerhouse on Mupo Entertainment. We have our special guest, Miss Pele Hunkin. She is a Army Sergeant First Class author. Go ahead and put that book up again, Heart of a Warrior.
Yes.
We also have, she is a speaker and she's also a mother of four. Now, we've been sitting here just having a nice chat about just how to navigate in life when you go through trauma. And Pele had went through serious trauma, losing a husband while one serving our country, and two having these children as well, and trying to figure out how to navigate that. So, Pele, let's talk a little bit about just that self-care. You said believe in yourself and just really what was that, what was that really helped you to believe in yourself? I mean, we really have to tap into ourselves and really find those ways of, really just finding that self-love and finding that, that self-worthiness, and it can be hard sometimes. So how did you manage to just pull yourself up and really just say, hey, you know what, I really believe in myself, and I've got this. Like what was that moment for you?
Wow. Yeah, like well, for me, that special moment for me, and I will always stick to this because it's true, that it took my divorce, for me to find me. It took my divorce for me to love on me because I was just so busy loving, loving him, loving the kids, and me and my and alcohol. I was like, that was my friend. But then, like I said, the importance of knowing your why in life, and that's what happened with me. I had to ask myself, like, what is your why in life? And is your why big enough, and is your why strong enough? It's
Yeah.
gonna, get you back up from what life went from when life knocked you down. And so, yes, my answer to that was yes. So because I have, beautiful children, loving children at that, and respectful, I said to myself, I wanted to be that mother, to set the example, to be that role model for my children. I didn't want nobody else to be a role model for my children. I
Yeah.
wanted to be the one. And so with me to do that, I had to fly. That's why I love my flight. I had to first love yourself. And I was telling myself, I had to love myself enough to be the change I wanted to see. Not that I
Yeah.
didn't care about what my family or anybody says, but then I was on this self journey, this self love, the self care, the self awareness, when we are
Mhm.
setting boundaries with what, we have and everything. And so that's what self care, self love is for me. It was
Yeah.
when I had to make that change for me. It was the change I wanted to see, not what anybody wanted to see, what Pele wanted to see. That's why I encourage, and I mentioned that earlier, I encourage every woman, every man, everyone, to fly, to
Yes.
love yourself enough to be that change you want to see in your life, not what anybody else's want to see, but what you want to see. So that's what it is for me. And then, especially when I was diagnosed with a heart disease that has no cure,
Mhm.
that's
Oh,
when I made a lifetime commitment. That's when I started my journey of no alcohol, no soda. I was drinking soda more than I was drinking my wine because gave up liquor, hard liquor, a long time. But I was loving my wine, but I was loving my Pepsi, my Coke, my Mountain Dew. I was drinking more soda than my wine. And
wow.
to see pictures of my heart was like, really hard for me to see. And it pushed me even harder to work harder on myself, to be the better version of myself. And so like I'm gonna share this picture again. And this is how much, you know, I'm grateful to God for everything, but I am very grateful to myself for
Yeah.
not giving up on myself, for not giving up on my children. And I just encourage everyone to not give up on yourself. Quitting is never an option when it comes to life. Life is too
Never.
precious. And, God has blessed you, blessed me with life because He knows that we are strong enough to live it.
That's right. That's right. And see, and that right there is what makes a girl powerhouse.
Yeah.
Someone that can come from that trauma to triumph
Yes.
and be able to, not skip a beat in there. Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, believing in yourself, finding that love, that, we have to have that self-love. I mean, me at my heaviest, I
Right.
had to be able to love myself at that heavy self so I could fix myself, you know? And you definitely have to find that love. So I love your journey. And I mean, hold that picture up again. I mean, every time I
Yes.
look at that, I'm just like, you can really see, I mean, when I'm looking, looking at you there, I mean, you're glowing, and you can really just see that. I see the pain. I can see it. And just, yeah.
I'm like,
And
yeah, but look at
I
me now,
commend you,
girl.
sis.
Hey.
Yeah, okay. I commend you, sis, for just coming out on the other side and being that inspiration to other, men and women, out there. I
Right.
mean, yes, this is Girl Powerhouse, and we are really, here to encourage, those women out there that are going through things because, we as women, we juggle a lot of things. I mean, you
Yes,
are a prime example of that, and there's so many women out there that are juggling a few things, and they're, maybe dropping those balls here and there, but they're feeling like they're so devastated and
right.
feeling like they have to just, end it all, or, whatever. But there's
Yes.
people like, there's champions like yourself that are out there that are coming, they're
Yeah.
overcoming everything,
Thank
so
you.
I just want to say to all of the, all you women out there that maybe, going through things as you're navigating in life, it's okay.
Yes,
We've
it's
all been
okay.
through it.
Yes, I always say it's okay not to be okay. It is
It
okay.
is.
It's just not okay for you to stay down there when life knocks you down. It's not okay to stay down there. Like I
Right.
said, always get back to that why. Always ask yourself, is your why strong enough? Is your why big enough? And
That's
if it
right.
is, I promise you, it'll get you right back up.
That's
It'll get
right.
you right back up.
That's right. It's your will. I mean, I've been knocked down so many times, and you just come back up, just
Yes, that's right.
you
I've been
know,
like, oh,
and
I
there
got
are
this.
right, and there's gonna be things that are bigger than others. We
Right.
just have to have the faith as well. I mean, I think that's another thing is,
Yes.
for myself, my faith is God. There's,
Right.
others out there, whatever your faith is, you
Yes.
know, whatever that is. I mean, and you have to have some kind of faith in something.
Yes. And not only that, well, not only our faith in God, but our faith in ourselves, and that's why, I had to have faith in myself, but it was truly, my unwavering faith in God, because when Dean passed, I stopped praying, I stopped fasting. I stopped it all. Like I stopped going to church. I didn't want to, talk to
Yeah,
nobody. But now I'm at a place to where I can share that, hey, don't do that. Don't do what I did. Don't
right,
do what I did was I was shutting out people, who cared for me. Do not do that. I
right,
encourage you not to shut out the people who loves you because that's when you needed them the most.
right,
Yeah,
right.
so don't do that was a mistake, and for me, don't turn to alcohol, when something goes wrong. That was my problem, but now I am
Yeah,
just so grateful to God, for giving me that strength, the
yeah,
courage and the
yeah,
power, to stay sober,
right.
and always get back to that why. That's why I encourage you, know your why, write it down, make it plain. You can
Yeah.
do it. You got this.
Frame it, put it on the wall,
Yes,
you
right.
want
Post
to
it
have it
on your
around.
mirror,
Post
thumb,
it,
just like
right.
you do your daily affirmations. I am strong. I am, post that up. You can see, put that up on your mirror.
Exactly. You got to see it. I mean, it's got to be there. I think as I went through my journey, I had affirmations all over the mirrors in the bathroom, and, by my bed, and, in my car. I mean, they were
Yes,
all over the place. That was definitely one of those things that helped me to get to
mm,
the other side, and just
yes,
really surrounding myself also with others that were more positive, you
yeah,
know, more like-minded, because I had some of those friends that I had to, when you talk about detoxing, you
yes,
have to detox your life with food. You have to detox your life with the things you watch. You have to detox your life with
right,
the people that are around you. And
yes,
when you do that, everything starts to change.
yes.
And
It's being
going through the journey,
intentional. It's living an intentional life, being intentional with everything that you do, the people we deal with and everything. And just knowing that your time is valuable. You have to ask yourself, does this person value me? Because we can always say that, oh, I'm gonna kill so and so with kindness. I believe that, people don't deserve your time. So I would say I just kill people with silence. I'm just being authentic and being true, because that's just it. It is what it is, And so I'm like, hey. Yeah.
Well, look, I tell you, this time goes so fast. We are getting to the end of this segment already. Oh my goodness. But I want to ask, is there any words of just encouragement, for our audience right now, as they move through?
Yeah, so I just want to share the 2 words that I live by daily is live and love. Live the life you love and love the life you live. And I just want you to know that you have a heart of a warrior. Yes, you do. And, when I mentioned to post up, affirmations on the mirror, and whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, I just encourage and inspire you to be inspired by that bold person in the mirror. Live your life out loud. Live your life boldly and just be inspired. I don't care what kind of mirror you look at, the rear view mirror of your car, any kind of mirror. Anytime you see yourself in the mirror, be inspired by that person. Be grateful for that person and I just want you to love on that person. Nobody will love you better than you. So yes. So I just want
I love
to
that.
yes.
Nobody loves but you.
Yeah, and so continue to fly. Yes, continue to fly. Oh, and so because you're over there and I'm over here. So I want us to do something. So put your hands up, in the front of you. Wait, close your eyes, put your hands in front of you. I want you to put your right hand. If you are watching this, do this with us. Put your right hand on your left shoulder. And then put your left hand on your left shoulder. Now I want you to squeeze yourself and I want you to think, of all that God has brought you through and you never gave up. I want you to squeeze yourself and just be grateful that you didn't give up on you. Now I want you to squeeze yourself just a little bit harder and open your eyes. And that was just me hugging you.
Oh, love that, sis. Ooh, I can feel that. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope everybody watching out there, you were able to just feel that positive energy from Pele as well today. This has just been so amazing. And I just have to just thank you so much. So for anyone that wants to purchase the book, or if they also would like to maybe have you come and speak at maybe one of their events, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, yes. They can reach me on my my website, peleinspired.com. It should be on, it's on the screen. Peleinspired.com is my website. Please connect with me on Facebook, Pele Hunkin and Pele Inspire, and Pele Inspire on TikTok and Pele Inspire on Instagram. So I would love to help you. I would love to help you, and bring you to where I am in life, where, it's a peace of mind. And I always tell people peace is power. And so, I want you to have that peace in your life and for you to find you. I would love to help you. If you need, a speaker, I'm your girl. So yes, reach out to you. I look forward to this connection. And once again, Sis Tiffany, I am so grateful to God for blessing you with me, for blessing me with you in my life. And the Mupo Entertainment Center. Thank you. I'm grateful to all of you, and I love you all.
Oh, thank you so much, Pele. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today to talk to our girl powerhouse, Miss Pele Hunkin. She is an Third Army Sergeant First Class. I'm a little hard on that one. Author, as well as a speaker and mother. If you would like for her to come and speak for you, or if you would like to get her book, definitely connect with her. I love y'all so much. Definitely tune in to more Mupo entertainment. Make
Yes,
sure
yes.
that you download it on your iOS or your Android. If you don't download it, make sure that you go to mupoentertainment.com. Check us out. Check all the rest of the amazing people of Mupo Entertainment out as well. All the amazing shows out there. You will definitely want to see them as well. Look, we are so excited to have more of you girl powerhouses on here. So if you would like to be part of the community, would like to be on the show, definitely reach out and we would love to have you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Tiffany Parra with Girl Powerhouse. We are coming to you on Mupo Entertainment. We are on the iOS as well as the Android devices. So if you have not downloaded us, please make sure that you do. I am going to be bringing on the wonderful Latasha Jimerson today. Latasha is a motivational speaker amongst a lot of other hats that this woman wears. I am going to go ahead and bring her on in so she can introduce herself and tell you all the interesting stuff that she does. Come on in.
Yo,
Hi,
what's
Latasha.
up?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's so great to see you. It is just such an amazing, you are glowing. I'm so glad to be in your space and so excited for this talk today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And just thank you. I mean, you brought the glow out in me, okay? Because I have been just so excited for this interview. I've been watching you out there and just all the amazing things that you do. So please take a moment to just tell our audience who you are, where you're at, and a little bit about what you do.
Oh, yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach, book promoter, and motivational speaker. I am the inventor and creator of Your First Book Workbook, which teaches you how to self-publish your book in 90 days or less with minimal stress. I'm also the creator and the founder of LTCES, which is LT's Coaching and Educational Services. I am also the creator of the two Facebook groups. The first one is Your First Book Club, for those people who are just now investigating how to do one book. And then for most of my clients, they want to do another book and another book and another book. So I have another club and it's called Your Next Book Club. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm all about books. I love books. I smell books. I'm a weirdo like that. So If you're a weirdo like that and you love to smell books and read books and talk about books, then you gonna love me. Thank you for having me today.
I absolutely adore you, Latasha, and just love what you do in just helping people bring out their brilliance in, their literary art. I mean, it's tough to, be a author, and you took it a step further, to become, the author of authors, really. You know what I'm saying? Author, creating authors, right?
I'm gonna take that. The author of authors. Thank you. Next time you're gonna see a t-shirt, the author of authors.
Yes, that's right. I love it. I love it.
I
So how
receive
did
it.
you get started book coaching? Like what geared you over there? Like have you always wanted to do this, or just kind of tell us a little bit about your background and just kind of how this all started?
So the straight up answer is hell no. That's the straight up answer. Hell no. I would rather be in the background, kicking it, reading a book in my pajamas. Like, that's just what I would love to do. But this is a part of my purpose and my calling. And I didn't know that until I started to get quiet. Like, I was teaching full time, high school history teacher / English teacher. I was the teacher taking kids on field trips and doing fundraisers. Like, that was the love of my life. And all of a sudden I started to get these thoughts of, you're not going to do this for the rest of your life, right? You know how people say that still small voice.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every time I got quiet, I heard that you're going to be on stages around the world, right? And I was like, no, I got this field trip. I got this fundraiser. I'm a department chair lead. And,
Right.
I'm the team player teacher. Whatever you got, I'm signing up for it because I want to stay busy. Right.
Right.
I was busy for a long time. And then 2015 hit. And I was like, wow, okay, I've pretty much done everything that I want to do at the middle school level. Let me go to the high school level and see what I can wreck up there. Right.
Right.
To the high school level. And then I was like, this is pretty cool, but this still ain't it.
Right.
This still ain't it. So I started doing a little bit of research and, taking a look at my resume and trying to figure out, okay, do I want to get another degree? Do I want to move up and be an administrator? Do I want to completely shift careers and get out of teaching altogether? And so I had all these questions in my head and I started researching, and you know how you go to YouTube University?
Right. Yes.
You get that street degree in YouTubeology. So I got me a street degree in YouTubeology. And I decided, I said, I'm just going to start writing during the vacation, just during the summer. I'm just going to see what I could do.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, one summer, I just sat down at the computer, and I don't know how to really explain it, but something took over me. And I was up like every night for like a whole month, late at night, just cranking something out. And my family members would come into the room and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just writing. It's flowing. I'm in a flow state. I don't know how to explain it. I'm in a trance. I mean, day after day after day after day. And it was my life story.
Wow.
I didn't know how it was going to begin, or I didn't know it was going to be in the middle. I didn't know how it was going to end, because I'm like, God, I'm still living. So where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And I just kept hearing my spirit, just keep writing. Just keep writing. Just keep writing. And so I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. 30 days later, I had some kind of mush. And I sent it to one of my good teacher friends who was like, yeah, you should probably write a book. She told me that years before. And so I called her, I procrastinated. I called her and I said, hey, I got something. can you look at it? How fast? And she's like, girl, it's summertime. I ain't got nothing but time. Let me read it. She's like, give it to me. 3 days later, she came back and I was like,
Right.
I was like, let me down easy. I'm not sensitive. She said, yo, this is good. And I was like, you just saying that because you my friend. She was like, no. She said, first of all, I just want to say, I can't believe you went through all that.
Wow.
Are we allowed to say SHIT on here?
Sure.
I'm just checking because it might be.
Look, this is just, look. Do they cuss on Netflix and things? Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay. She said, this is good. This is really good. She said, I apologize that you had to go through all of that shit.
Yeah.
She said, because I know you had to go through that stuff alone. She's like, your childhood, your teenagehood, your collegehood, your career. She's like, you're one of those teachers that's always like this.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't believe it. She's like, I was working with you when you were going through some of this stuff. Because she was one of my buddy teachers. We had the same students. You know, I taught one subject, she taught a different subject. So they left my room, went to her room. We had lunch together. We hung out at home together. We were going out together. She didn't know what was going on inside of my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. She was like, I am so sorry. And I said, okay, what we going to do? She's like, you have to publish this. I was like, I do. She's like, you have to.
Yeah.
This is important. And I was like, whoa. Okay. So 2017, I published it. And I honestly, I published it like this.
Okay.
Because I was hoping nobody would buy it. Because then I would be like, God, you see, I was obedient.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the spirit and I wrote what I wrote and I put it out and did nobody buy it. See?
Yeah. No.
No.
He ain't gonna let you down that easy.
I went on Facebook and I was like, not even on Facebook. In 2017, I was a teacher who was a turtle. I'm gonna call myself a turtle teacher. Literally, I ate my lunch in my classroom. I was in my classroom early in the morning and late at night. Some nights I was out there late. And I literally did not come out of my classroom because I was just like, when I'm laser focused on something, I'm locked in. So you talk about social media, the woman I am today is completely different than the woman that was hiding in that classroom looking like a turtle, because I was afraid if I went on social media, somebody was going to stalk me.
Mm-hmm.
I had all these fears and preconceived notions about social media. And I was like, and I felt the spirit say, go on, open up a Facebook.
Right.
Soon as I opened up a Facebook, oh my gosh, my friends from high school were like, where the hell have you been?
Mm-hmm.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. My friends from college, where the hell you been?
Yeah.
You mean you on Facebook now and you don't wrote a book?
Okay.
So my first copies that got sold was just because people was nosy as hell. They wanted to know what she been up to for all these damn years. And why is she just now getting on Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm one of those history teachers that's like, I'll wait for the movie to come out on VHS tape. That's how I am. I don't want to see it now. I'll wait.
VHS tape.
That's me, the old school teacher. Like, I don't watch. People think I'm weird. I watch TV. I barely listen to the radio. It's me and my books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes That's what we need. That's what makes us passionate. Is those little things, those books, for me, it's like the working out. Like I could put my earphones on. I don't have to have nobody around me at all, nothing. Just leave me alone with,
Yes.
with the weights and with all the cool equipment that and nah, I don't need you.
Yes.
It's fun though to work out with somebody once in a while, but no.
That's how I am with my books. Like, you asked, how did you get into this? Hell no, I didn't want to be the writer of the books. I wanted to be just the reader of the books, right? Just like this in my room or in the library. I spend so much time in the library. It's not even funny. Like, people think the library was like my address because in high school, I literally would go into the library during lunch. My friends would be hanging out in the quad. I'd be in the library like a big old nerd. It's just my happy place, my comfort zone.
Right.
And so when God said you need to write a book and you need to go on Facebook and you need to talk to people about this, you need to get and go, I was like, hell no.
Step out that comfort zone. Step out that comfort zone.
Yeah. So it was a long way for me to explain that I was just pushed into writing a book about my life. I didn't know what was going to come out. Ended up being a memoir, and people at my job were reading it. So I was kind of embarrassed because there was things in there about depression, anxiety, panic attacks. The book opens with me in the closet on the floor in a fetal position, crying myself to sleep night after night after night. That's the opening chapter, is what that felt like to be there. The kids were asleep. The husband was asleep. It was me in the closet crying myself to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Well, Latasha, we are going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more from motivational speaker and amongst a bunch of other things, author, book, education coach, just everything. But we'll be right back. And we are back. This is host Tiffany Parra on the Girl Powerhouse. We are here on Mupo Entertainment. Make sure that you download us on your iOS as well as your Android. And also, if you'd like to check out a bunch of other interesting things that Mupo's got going on, go ahead and visit mupoentertainment.com. So we are back with our special guest, motivational speaker, as well as author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. So thank you so much, Latasha. So Latasha, who is it that you serve? Who in particular do you serve on your journey?
Oh yeah. See, this turned into an accident as well, because I didn't plan this, but I ended up telling my story as a 40-year-old woman. And so what ended up happening is generally people over 40 started coming to me saying, hey, you wrote your memoir? Like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I wrote it. It was interesting. I needed to process a lot of emotional baggage from the past, and it was very liberating. And so they started saying, yeah, let me find out, how you do this. Let's get on a call. And so in the beginning, I started just attracting educators, because my whole network is, teachers, administrators, counselors, coaches, fitness coaches and everything, athletic coaches. And so they would be like, well, how do you do that when, you're working full time, you got your kids and all this, da, da, da. And I'm like, well, 2 a.m. sounds about, the time that I get creative. So that's about the time that I work on these passionate projects, right? And so literally the people that I serve are mostly educators, even still, right? I work with a lot of servant leaders who are ministers, pastors, and also content creators. So people who are already authors and they just want to expand their skills and learn more and, earn more with the books that they already have. So to really narrow it down, it's the majority, the people who really get the most bang out of working with me are mostly women of color who have a story and they're servant leaders. They've been serving everybody. And now it's time for them to sit down and really get that book project done. Like I heard that a lot throughout the pandemic, and we're still, not all the way through it, but women came to me, they're like, you know what? I'm home now. And I'm grateful to be able to work from home, because I have this job. So I'm excited, but you know what? I really want to do something else. I really want to start thinking about how I'm going to retire. And I'm like, that makes my heart go pitter pat because I'm a history teacher by trade. So I hear someone say, I want to write something to leave a legacy to my family and to the world. I'm like, ooh, I'm excited. Talk about legacy. And I'm like, let's go. So yeah, just in a nutshell, mostly women over 40, women of color who have had a long, beautiful career. And now they're ready to sit back with some tea and tell some tea, sis.
Yes.
Oh, yes. A lot of tea in these books.
That's right. Oh, I love it. Cheers. Hey. So how many books have you written?
So myself, I've written 6 books and I've done 2 collaborations. So one collaboration was with fellow teachers and another collaboration was with 25 public speakers.
Wow.
And so those experiences were super fun because, writing a book by yourself can be kind of lonely, right?
Yeah.
When you have a group of super ambitious writers who love to talk and think and discuss, and it is just explosive. And you know this because you have so many beautiful content creators that come to you and collaborate on projects. So my last 2 books are collaborations. And after those collaborations, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be writing anything else alone anymore.
Right?
It was fun, but not that fun.
Yeah. Now, when you've been in the anthology realm, have you, it could be difficult, especially if you are dealing with, working with a lot of women, you can get a lot of, different, issues that maybe can come up. Have you, in your experience, have you, had any types of issues that have come up, or has it been, really just, pretty smooth for you?
Well, ain't nothing with me smooth. It's always a hot mess. So the first collaboration that I did was a hot freaking mess because I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody was on a phone call with me because I do a lot of networking and I meet a lot of people. And the person came up with this idea and I was like, oh, that's amazing. I had just met the person. I was like, what are you doing during the month of so-and-so, so-and-so? And that person was like,
let's do this.
Nothing. I was like, let's do a collaboration. I'm Aquarius, so I'm always in my head and I'm always thinking of some cool stuff to do. But when it comes down to do it, it's like, oh, I didn't think about that. We ended up working on a project that took a full year.
Wow, a year.
It should have taken 3 months, but it took a full year because we had people coming in, coming out. We had people starting and stopping. We had people over here, over there. And I didn't know how to manage that. I was like, what is this? Like, aren't you? Wait a minute. Personalities, everything was a freaking hot mess. So halfway through the project, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not. I told one of my, it ended up being 3 of us that were like the lead teachers. We're all teachers. It was like 3 lead teachers. And I told my other lead teachers, I said, I'm out. I'm out. I know this was my idea. And I know I was the rah-rah cheerleader in the beginning, but everybody's getting on my nerves. I'm out. And one of the lead teachers was like, LT, you done got me way too excited about this. You cannot back out. We have to do this project. And I was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Right.
She
Drawing
was
the
like,
line in the sand.
yeah. I mean, she said music to my ears.
Yeah.
She said, I'm gonna take over this project. I said, let's go, sis. And she said, and I'm gonna do it my way. I said,
Okay.
ooh, wait.
Okay.
I said, what you talking about, Willis? But I was so grateful. I was so grateful. She took the lead. You know how they say,
And
Jesus
sometimes
takes
that's
the
what we
wheel.
need.
Yeah,
Sometimes
Jesus takes the
and
wheel. She
that's
took
what that
the wheel.
was. That was
She
look. That was Jesus touching her to take the wheel. Okay. That. Yeah. So
took
you
the
have to have
whole,
somebody to
yes.
have your
She took
back on this stuff. So that's
She took
oh
all the
man.
stress off of me. She took all the weight because, yeah, I'm the type of person, if I initiate something, I feel like I have to complete it. That's not the
Yeah.
case. She brought in more experts. She brought in more writers. She brought in more organization. She did that damn thing. And in the end, I was like, wow, this is
And you didn't have to stress.
incredible. Yes. I was like, yes. I wrote my part. I left it alone. I gave it to her. She took it. It was beautiful. And not only that, but she also got everybody to come on board with the title, the picture on the front, the book cover. She got the editing done and the formatting done, which these are all things that I had done for myself 6 times because I had 6 books. So I was the author, the editor, the formatter, the publisher, the promoter, the seller, the marketer, all of it 6 times for my own books. So by that time, I was really exhausted with the entire technicality of the book publishing process. So she pulled that off of me so that I could operate in my zone of genius and just write my chapter.
Wow. See, that's amazing. I love that. I enjoy being the visionary, but I would like to step back at times as well. So I completely understand what you mean there. So now you have 6 books. So are all of your books about, parts of your life? What are all of your books about?
Good question. So my very first book that I published in 2017 is a memoir that's about my personal life, the depression, the anxiety, being diagnosed with bipolar and being in denial about that.
Mm-hmm.
That book was specifically what I call now, what my clients taught me. That book was writing for healing. I didn't know it at the time. I still am actually wrapping my mind around it because when my clients come into my container and they start writing, they get the same result that I did, which is complete transformation, confidence, standing up tall, doing your Superman pose, being on stage, talking to people, teaching. Like, it brought me out of my shell, not just out of the funk that I was in, completely out of my shell. So literally, people can get that on Amazon. Literally, I came out of the closet. The name of it is Secrets from My Closet.
Wow.
Unveiling the past in order to heal in the future.
Well, I
didn't create that title. That was a download.
Yeah, I like that.
So that was book number 1, the very first one in 2017. And then I had one of my daughters turned 18 in 2018. Her and I were having a hot damn mess relationship. with her being a senior in high school, deciding college, non-college, junior college, 4-year university, all those little things that I had on the checklist for her, she wasn't having none of it. So we together, we did a little collaborative book, which was not planned.
Oh, wow.
I said, Jesus, I need to do something to heal this relationship because one of us is going to strangle the other. And so I wrote this book. It's called Sorry Boo, Mommy Lied. Now that you're 18, you can handle the truth.
Wow.
That second book is about parenting, how to raise teenagers when you're already stressed at work.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was already teaching teenagers at work. My whole teaching career, 20 years teaching teenagers, the kids in the middle. So when mine became teenagers, I was like, ooh, wait. That's when my edges started falling out. So that book was about parenting. And then I had people in the community asking me, well, can you write a book about like self-care? Because at that time I was now balancing raising kids, being a teacher, and now I'm an author.
Yeah.
So that's another hat. So people were like, how do you wear all these hats? You only got one head.
Right.
So I started writing about how do I take care of myself, because I started working out, right? You would have been so proud of me. Like I was just on fire for working out. Like I lost weight. I felt so good. And I was like, I'm an author now. I gotta look the part, I gotta be sexy. So then I wrote a book about how to take care of yourself. It's literally Mom's Book of Common Sense.
Wow.
How to take care of yourself when you are overwhelmed.
Nice. I like that. And there's so many people that need that right there. So many, women, I mean, men as well. Men fly by the seats of their pants as well. They get stressed out too. But, just women, especially because we take on so much and just go and need that just release and just to learn how to not be so stressed. So I just love what you are doing. So we're going to cut to another quick commercial break, and then we are going to come back and talk a little bit about how you became the girl powerhouse that you are today. So we'll be right back. And we are back. This is Girl Powerhouse with host Tiffany Parra. And we have our special guest today, motivational speaker, also author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. So thank you so much for joining us today, Latasha. So Latasha, You have, I mean, obviously gone through a lot of different things. You have juggled a lot of hats. You're a mom, author, teacher, book coach, motivational speaker. You've been a teacher, just everything. So, what do you feel was that defining moment when you became the girl powerhouse that you are today?
Oh my gosh. Like this just happened like this year. Like I just woke up this year and I was like, wow, February 7th was my birthday and I turned 47 and I was like, wow, what in the world? I look different. Like my hair is different. My face is different. My body is different. Everything about me, mind, body, and soul is completely transformed into a new creature, a new being. Like I can't even really express the whole process because it's like that butterfly caterpillar type of situation. But what I will say is that what I've been through in my life is like driving from California to New York, right? Depending on where you're going, there are bridges sometimes, like the freeways or bridges, right? So I consider myself to be still on my journey, but I'm crossing a lot of bridges. And each bridge is so exciting because I'm like, woo, you know how you go across the bridge and you look down, you're like, ah, that's how my life is right now. Like I go across one bridge and I think, well, that was exciting. What's next? And then I go across another bridge and I'm like, woo, that was scary. What's next? And I'm kind of like, I don't really want to go to what's next because that was a little traumatizing. The first bridge was fun. That other bridge. So I feel like Girl Powerhouse Network is where I belong. Like I just plugged in with you guys, I think in November or December. And I immediately felt at home, like, wow, these women are doing things. These women have goals and dreams, and they're not apologizing for going for it. Like, where y'all been all my life? This is what I've been looking for. My fam bam, like it's been enlightening. It's been really enlightening. And I mean, just this year, I literally was like, I'm 47. What do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do for the rest of my life from now on? And that's where I just started getting quiet again, because when I became an author, I didn't plan it. I didn't want to do it, but I knew I was being disobedient for like 12 years. I was being very disobedient because I had felt the nudge, but I didn't want to cross the bridge. So when I did that, it opened up a whole world of opportunities. And then I said, oh, this is awesome. And then other people started coming and saying, hey, can you help me write a book? And I was like, oh, yeah. Created my course, created my coaching program, started walking authors across the bridge. And that was super exciting. I mean, it's cool teaching kids, but it's way more fun teaching adults that are paying you.
That's right.
Paying you well. Yeah. Okay. So, when I think of just Powerhouse and being a boss, I always had a vision in my head, but it looked a little bit different, Now that I'm in the skin of a boss, I'm like, man, this is really cool. Like I can do whatever I want to do. I can manifest whatever life I dream about. And I was just talking to my old principal from 2007 when I first started. I started teaching in 2003 and I went to her school site in 2007. And she goes, "Do you realize when you came to me, you were pregnant with your last baby?" I go, "Oh, wow. Yeah, she's 14. She goes, "Yeah, that's when I first met you." And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. We just sat there and talked about the good old crazy days of teaching middle school. That was the middle school part of my journey. We talked about how fun that was, how crazy it was. And she just really helped me to remember my journey, right?
Yeah.
Like we can document it in a book, but when other people share with you the way that you influenced them and how you impacted other families and the contribution that you've made to humanity, it's
Right.
incredible when you hear someone else echo back to you, what you already know. You feel it in your bones, but you
Yeah.
need somebody to reinforce what you feel in your bones, right? Like that validation.
Mhm.
Like I don't live for validation, but it sure is nice when I get it.
Okay. That's right. That's right. And I think it's really just confirmation, right? It's just confirmation that you are in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. So it's that message, right? So man, we look we went past the 30 minutes, but that is okay because
Just
this has been just an amazing conversation with you, Latasha, and I hope to have you back on the show as well. Thank you so very much for just showing up. Thank you for what you do in just helping to bring out that creativity in, some of those that just really are kind of like, I don't know what to do. They're stuck. So thank you for just being that educator and that, again, that author of authors, right? You can definitely have that one. You can
thank you.
take that one. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, everyone, thank you all for tuning in to the Girl Powerhouse with your girl here, Tiffany Parra, with our special guest, motivational speaker, as well as author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. We are on Mupo TV. Again, make sure that you download us on your iOS or your Android, and also check us out at www.mupoentertainment.com. We got a lot of great stuff going on right now, and you definitely want to be part of it. And if you want your own show, definitely tap in to the Mupo Network. So thank you so very much, and we will see you all next time. All right, take care and thank you. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Girl Powerhouse. I am your host, Tiffany Parra, and we are coming to you from Mupo TV. You can download us on Android or iOS, or you can visit us at Mupo TV, Mupo Entertainment, .com, and you can find Mupo TV there. So today we are going to be talking about girl powerhouses, and I have some amazing ladies that are going to be joining me today. They are some of my, let's say, OG girl powerhouse sisters. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and bring my sisters on in the room. Hey, what's going on, Jamila? Hello, Lakeish. Welcome, ladies, to Girl Powerhouse. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Tiffany, for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I am just so excited. Now, everybody, before I have the ladies introduce themselves, I just got to say just a little bit about each one of them. So, Jamila and I have known each other for a little bit. We met in a group of some girl powerhouses. She was actually one of the authors in the Girl Powerhouse Volume 1. And Lakeish here. Lakeish has been makeup artist, skin consultant, just amazing. And she's going to be in Girl Powerhouse, I think, becoming a Girl Powerhouse Volume 3, right, girl?
Yeah.
So, so Jamila, please introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit about your business.
Sure. Thank you, Tiffany. Like I said, thank you for the opportunity of being here. My name is Jamila Adams, and my business is Jamila Adams at Your Service. And what I do is I'm basically a consultant. My target audience are women 40 plus who are trying to turn their passion project into their main gig through website design and marketing. So that has been my business now going on 3 years. I can't believe it's already been 3 years. And I just love letting my clients vent about their ideas, their desires, their goals, and just having them step away from, say, like their corporate office or just, their regular 9 to 5 job to do something for themselves that in turn will turn around and do something for other people. So that's what I do. I just started my podcast. It was like one of those things I've been wanting to do, and I just started it. And that's called the Jamila Adams Experience Podcast. I come out every Friday, and it's more or less just me talking about things that help me deal and how I cope. Eventually, I would like to have guests come on to the show. So just know that you guys are definitely going to be hit up to be a guest. But yeah, it's just one of those things that allows me to express myself in a different way other than what I do on my regular business. And the other thing I also, like you said, is the author of the Girl Powerhouse Volume 1. And I was so pleased and so excited to be able to do that because it allowed me to strip myself down to show my vulnerable self and talk about things that happened to me, because I don't believe my past will hold me down. I let it go. I release it because I feel like it was a weight that literally drug me down. And I want to be able to tell other women, especially business women, is don't be held by your past. Your past is your past. You have to put it aside and learn from it. Don't lay in it. Don't stay in it. Just learn from it and move on. Because if you don't learn how to cope in life in general, you, especially in business, you can't be able to relate to other people because you can't relate to yourself. So the moment you can grasp that and learn how to relate to yourself and learn to love yourself and learn how to value yourself, then you can be able to be of service to others. That's the main reason why I started my business, is because I wanted to be of service to others. That's hence the name, Jamila Adams at Your Service. So along with that, being an entrepreneur, I'm a mom, a wife, a nana, a sister, best friend. And it's one of those things that I encompass within me to be able to relate to my clients. I think when we relate to others, they can see us and they can see themselves in us. So the more I can put myself out there, the more I can talk with other women, especially, and say, look, you know what? We may not have come from the same background, but we do have a common thread. And so once we discover what that thread is, and we can just build on it from there. So that's who I am, and that's what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamila. And Miss Lakeish.
Well, hello there, everyone. Tiffany, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. And hello, Jamila. My name is Lakeisha Delaney Macenti. I am a mompreneur, I guess you could say. As a makeup artist and skincare consultant, I help women and men to do an about face, as I like to call it. The name of my company is About Face Place. So I do educate people on the best skincare practices based on their skin type. I also do makeup looks for all different occasions. I'm a certified lash technician, and I'm on my way to becoming a certified health and wellness coach. The motto of my business is beautiful skin from out to within. So I like to show people the best ways to take care of their skin in healthy ways. You know, I'm by no means a dermatologist or a doctor, but I can give recommendations based on your skin type and different things that you and I can go over together. I do consultations. I teach people how to do their own makeup, skincare, and things like that. I love my little business. It is my baby, but I'm also a healthcare worker. So I'm a medical assistant. And so that is another thing that I do, another hat. And I'm also a wife and a mother. I have a 13-year-old is my baby, my 19-year-old, and my bonus babies are 17 years old, a young lady, 20-year-old young man, and a 24-year-old. So I've been around the block with children for a long time, and I have a really special place in my heart for kids because I know, how it is to grow up. So I've always had a passion for doing things to help with young kids and teens. So eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to do some things with teaching them and passing on some information, to them as well, just dealing with life and just coping with teenage things. So that's my hope for the future. But for right now, I'm loving what I do as far as makeup and beauty. I just want to share it with other people. And I really started it because of changes in my own skin and just realizing that there are different ways to be beautiful. You don't have to be afraid of the skin you're in. You don't have to cover up in makeup if you don't want to. So I want people to love, makeup and skincare, but also know that, you don't have to have it. I don't want people to feel like, beauty is something that you have to, cover up with makeup. So that is part of my educational purpose as the owner of About Face Place. So thanks again, Tiffany. And it's great to be on here with you ladies.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you, Lakeisha. Oh, my goodness. Now, y'all know, just listening to that right there, these are two girl powerhouses for real. So we are going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about all of the various girl powerhouses that we are going to be featuring in the episodes to come. So we will be right back. And we are back. Thank you so much, Mupo Entertainment, for that amazing commercial. Every time I see it, it makes me want to boogie in my seat, I swear. But you all can watch us. We are the Girl Powerhouse, and you can watch us again on Mupo TV. Download us on iOS or on Android. So we are back with Miss Jamila Adams and Miss Lakeisha Musenti. They are, again, two of our OG girl powerhouses from the network. Now, I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit about the network. So the Girl Powerhouse Network actually started a couple of years ago. It was during COVID, and that's when a lot of stuff was shifting. And, for myself, I had an employment shift, and it really pushed me into just thinking about what it is that I wanted in life. What do I want to do, right? And it really helped me to find my way into some amazing groups. And I decided to start my own group because it was a little bit of a gut punch, when you get laid off. I mean,
Yes.
So this group started out with a handful of local ladies. And in the last few years, we have grown to 411, as I checked today, worldwide. And we meet just to support and inspire each other to grow in ways that we never thought we could, to support each other in our business, as well as in our personal life, because there's so many different perspectives out there. And when you have a group of sisters that are from all walks of life, coming together, you really cannot go wrong. So that is our group. We've written 2 books together so far. I'm sure we're going to write many, many more. I'm predicting that this group is going to be just, blowing up here. We're going to double in size here very shortly, just because of the magnitude of what is going on, in the network, and just how we do support each other. So I want to just kind of talk about, in the coming weeks, we're going to be touching base on a lot of different girl powerhouses that are out there. And the girl powerhouses that we're really going to delve into are some of those girl powerhouses that are in some positions in the industries that you really wouldn't likely see a woman in. So, we have girl powerhouses that are in, law enforcement. We've got girl powerhouses that are, in medical, they're doctors, we've got wrestlers, right? We got wrestlers out there that, I mean, hey, look, WWE, the divas, right? I mean, it's just amazing to see some of these girl powerhouses. You got fire women. You've got, I mean, God, what else? You got farming women. You got women out there kicking butt in farming. And we actually have a show, Charlie's Green Acres, here on Mupo TV that has a girl powerhouse there as well, Charlie Donahue. And just, again, seeing a woman powerhouse out there farming, milking cows and doing all that kind of stuff. So Jamila, give me some other girl powerhouses, industries of girl powerhouses that are out there that we're gonna touch base on.
Well, the people that I know personally, and you more than likely have known her, was Amber Patchlock. She has her YouTube, Amber P Beauty, and she's a bikini, it's not bodybuilding. There's different types of classes that they're in. And how I end up seeing her, I actually love watching her do her makeup. She always has keep it simple. And that's her motto. And watching her grow as a YouTuber, and it's just like, she's so relatable. She's really down to earth, but she's changing and moving. And she's now going into being she's always been a makeup artist, but she's put out an ebook. And also she has a growing Instagram following. So I look at her as a powerhouse because she defies what typical beauty is, because she's beautiful on the inside. She's very gorgeous, but if you talk to her, she's so down to earth. She's so real. And she just is so relatable. So to me, she is a powerhouse. And I've had the opportunity of actually working with her, and she's just a great person all the way around. So that right there, to me, she is a powerhouse. She's definitely a girl powerhouse.
Love it. And I follow Amber. So watching her out there, lifting the weights and doing the work, I know that, sometimes women can be looked at a little differently because of, having muscle and things like that. But, when you see her on that stage, you're just like, wow. So yes, she definitely is a girl powerhouse for sure. Lakeisha, what about you? What are some of the girl powerhouses, that you want to point out that we need to spotlight on the show?
I mean, hey, I know that there's always wishful thinking, but I love Erica LaPearl. She is the makeup artist extraordinaire who does makeup for one of the artists is Cardi B. And I love to follow makeup artists. So I'm definitely going to look into who you were talking about, Jamila, because I love to see their growth, their art, and it inspires me to continue to do more different, new, and inspiring makeup looks and trends and things that maybe have been outside of my box before. But right now, I got my eyes on my girl, Brittany Griner, who just got back from Russia with all of the things that were happening. And just to see a girl powerhouse, I'm a basketball mom, okay? So, and I'm a huge sports fan. Let's go Cleveland Cavaliers. But no, so I just was so excited to see that Brittany is about to be back with her team, and just to see women in the WNBA just striving to continue to be great and trying to push forward the movement for women NBA players to, get like the same type of clout as the men do. So right now, I don't know, I'm watching Brittany Griner real heavy, and my girl Serena Winters, who is she's not a Cleveland native, but she's working as a Cleveland Cavaliers sports broadcaster right now. And she is simply amazing to me. She reminds me of the lady you were talking about, Jamila, because she's very simply just gorgeous, and she just gets on camera and she just lights up the place after every game. She's the one interviewing, Donovan Mitchell and, the guys on the Cavaliers. So I just really look up to that because I love seeing women in sports. I'm a big sports fan. So when I get out there and I'm watching my son play, and, the moms and, a couple of us are just like this. We're on the side. Yeah, kick his butt. Let's go. Score your basket. So we are crazy, insane mom fans, but just sports as a whole. Like, I just love to see women working in sports. Also shouting out Mary Kay Cabot. She covers the Cleveland Browns, not doing, anything right now, but it's okay. Like, I love Mary Kay Cabot. She's a legend. Look her up, but she covers the Cleveland Browns. So those are a few of mine.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I mean, and there are so many girl powerhouses out there. I mean, in all the different industries, right? I think we all may know one, we all know a plumber, right? That has been out there. There's actually a woman plumber in Nevada that is running her own company out there. And she's the first woman to do that. And I think it's just absolutely amazing, to see, some of the women out there just, stepping into some of these different roles, construction, things like that, grabbing those hard hats and, getting into, some of those situations and just going away from the norm, right? Because, I mean, everyone is capable of doing anything, and the show is not just, it's to also, celebrate those men who are also in the, girl powerhouse, when have those relationships, right? Because sometimes you have those girl powerhouses that it's a lot. It's a lot because we are girl powerhouses, and we all know, when we travel a little different. We tend to have our quirks about us, so I also, want to make sure that, in the coming weeks, we definitely do celebrate those partners out there that are in the relationships with those girl powerhouses as well. So this is just, it's going to be so absolutely just fabulous. So ladies, we are going to go ahead and cut to just a quick commercial break. And then we're going to come back, and I would love to hear, your really just what you feel makes you that girl powerhouse. So we will be right back. and we are back. This is Girl Powerhouse on Mupo TV. We are talking about who girl powerhouses are out there and what makes us girl powerhouses. Now, every girl powerhouse has a superpower that makes them that girl powerhouse. So, Jamila, please share with me, what is that unique superpower that makes you a girl powerhouse?
My unique superpower is honestly perseverance. And it helped me during my darkest times. And being before I got married, I was a single mother, and it was hard, dealing with trying to raise three boys and making sure that they were taken care of. But it allowed for me to persevere. So I've always wanted to strive to do better, not only for myself, but also for my boys, and to make sure to let them know that you're going to be okay. You're going to get through whatever you need to get through. You just have to persevere, because nothing is going to be given to you. You have to work for it. And if you want something bad enough, you have to put in the hours, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifice to get to where you want to be. So for me, my superpower is just perseverance. And my second superpower, if I have one, is a good sense of humor, because sometimes you just have to laugh in order to get through some things. Um, but yeah, my superpower is perseverance, and it's just being able to look at things through different lenses and understand how to make ways out of nothing. So that's my superpower.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamila. What
Yeah.
about you, Satish? What is your superpower?
Well, I'm going to say a couple of things as well. I'm going to say one of my superpowers is definitely to be determined and have faith. Similar to Jamila, I went through some things. My daughter was 3.5 when her father was murdered. So I had to come up out of some really dark, dark places at a very vulnerable young time in my life. Became a single mother just like that as well. Only had one, but, the circumstances behind it could have taken, a lot of people can't handle, and it was very tough to handle. But just being able to know that, I praise my mother, because she was a single mother as well for quite a while after my parents' divorce, for taking me to church and teaching me about God. Because if it wasn't for that, for me, honey, I don't even know where I would be. I don't know if I would be here today. So I definitely have a strong faith in the Lord. And I feel like, no matter what I go through, I'm going to cry it out. I'm going to, tough it out, whatever it is. But I know I'm going to get to the other side of it because I have that strong faith. And I'm also going to just say the gift of, I guess, gab and personality and love. Like, I love people. So, like, I will make a friend with a stranger without a problem. But I just like to, spread around a little bit of what I got. I feel like I have way too much, happiness sometimes in me and things like that. So I just try to give it to other folks. But okay, we already know, Tiffany, because that's how we were met. And even with you, Jamila, like, you guys are both just amazing to me. I'm really excited to be on here with you guys because you are both true examples of amazing girl powerhouses. Your personalities are what brought us together. So I think we all have a little bit of that. We love on people. So that's what, brought us to where we are. And we're ready to love on some more girl powerhouses. Come on into the group, y'all. Come on in. Okay.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. I think my superpower definitely is the gift of gab. That's for sure. Because I could make a friend in the craziest of places. Okay.
Right.
So, ladies, we are, guys, it goes fast, I tell you. But I would love to hear some words of wisdom, words of encouragement to some of those ladies out there that are, really just kind of struggling, trying to figure things out, but they got that girl powerhouse in them. What's some words of wisdom, words of encouragement that you can give them to, finally just jump, just get out there and do what they need to do to shine? Good, Jamila.
Words of encouragement. I've got so many, but my thing is this: your problems are temporary. It may seem like everything is overwhelming, but you will get through it. I always say you can lay in it, but don't stay in it. Whatever you're going through, you can get through it. You have to surround yourself with positive people. If that means you got to start cutting people off, you start cutting them off. Get the scissors and do what you got to do. Because if you want success, if you want to be motivated to move forward, you have to be around people that will encourage you to move forward. I'm learning that now, and especially in the last 3 years of having my business, that I need to be around people that will call me out when I need to be called out, hold me accountable. You need to hold yourself accountable. And that's one of those things. If you can learn to hold yourself accountable and love yourself, everything else will be laid in front of you. And like you said, Lakeisha, faith. You have to have faith, because without it, there's nothing. And I can honestly say my faith has gotten me through a lot of things that I personally, I don't think I should have made it out of. But I will definitely encourage other women, especially, it's not going to last. What you're going through is not going to last. It may seem like it. You may seem like everything is overwhelming, but when you surround yourself with the right people, you will feel encouraged. You will feel that you can do anything. And that's my word of wisdom. Just surround yourself with people that are positive, because there are times when you just don't feel like it. And like I said, I've been there. There have been times when I just didn't feel like getting out of bed. Yeah. And I've been very blessed to have people call me and say, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Why? Right. I haven't heard from you. What's going on? And so you have to have those people that will check in on you. Check in on your strong friends, because they're the ones that are pulling loads like you wouldn't believe, but they don't know how to ask for help. I was one of those strong friends because I was always there for everybody else. So like when I stopped showing up, that's when they were like, something's wrong. We need to go check up on her. And that's what you have to do. You got to hold yourself accountable, but you always got to surround yourself with positive people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jamila. Thank you. What about you, Lakeisha? Some words of wisdom and encouragement.
Hey, Jamila, you had some great stuff there. I wanted to kind of bounce off what you said. Whatever you're going through, yes, you're going to grow through. You made it through those other things. So you are growing through this, meaning you're going to learn something from it, and then maybe from there you can go on to try not to make that same or be in that same space. And also, like you said, Jamila, like we all get or have times when we're down and out, but we don't want to stay there. Go ahead and grieve the moment, and the situation, and then pick yourself back up and continue to move forward, because that's the only way that it's going to work out best for us, is if we kind of trudge forward. Like I said, it's okay to be in that space for a limited amount of time. Then we're going to get up. I definitely do believe in faith for sure, and to kind of stop the negative self-talk. Like I know I've worked with a lot of women, and sometimes I hear things like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, or, oh, I'm so dumb. I'm always doing this. Oh, I never do this right. And that's us getting in our own head when we can't talk to ourselves like that. Like if you were sitting up there talking to your best friend or coworker, maybe I ain't gonna say coworker because you might say that to your coworker, but best friend, you're gonna tell her, girl, you don't do anything right. You're always looking terrible. Oh my God, you this. So you have to be your best friend. And that is one thing that I was able to learn through the years, that being my own best friend is going to help me exude that love onto others, because you can't really fill, how's the saying go? You can't fill others up with an empty cup. So you have to be able to love on yourself the best that you can. Realize you're not perfect. You're a human being. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to go through things. But don't you let nobody tell you, or you even tell yourself, that you're not good enough, or that you're too old or too young. I switched careers as I was in my 30s. I know people right now who are saying, I don't know if I should go do this because I'm, close to 40 or I'm too old. Better stop. You can do things you want to do. So carry on. Shut out the chatter of the people, the naysayers. Get you some friends that push you and not try to suck everything out of you. And the no new friends thing is an X-nay on the no new friends thing, because if I would have stuck with no new friends, I wouldn't have these beautiful ladies right here. You know what I'm saying? Still love my old girls. Like, I still have my friends, but there's a season for everybody and everything.
That's right.
Times when you're growing, you need to switch it up. So just like Jamila said, getting with the right type of people. So don't be afraid of those powerhouse friends, y'all.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Thank you so much, ladies. Just surround yourself with the people that you inspire to be like, And I will have to say just one quote from CEO Michelle Mufo. It's don't think, just do. Right. And when you are going through things, see that as your foundation. It's a foundation to greatness. And you just have to continue to walk up it in steps, and again, like you ladies both said, don't get stuck, and surround yourself with those girl powerhouses that are going to uplift you and keep you positive, because that's the way that you're going to continue to just thrive in what you're doing. So ladies, this has been amazing, and I would love to have you come back again, please, because this has been just an awesome conversation. So Jamila, please share with the audience where they can connect with you if they would like to work with you.
Sure. Absolutely. I'm on the socials. My handle is Jamila Adams at your service. My website is jamilaadamsatyourservice.com. And the new podcast, the Jamila Adams Experience podcast, is on Podbean, pretty much wherever you listen to your podcast. So like Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts. So that's where I'm at. So yes, I'm on the socials. My handle is Jamila Adams at your service, and website again is jamilaadamsatyourservice.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamila. And Lakeisha, where can our audience find you? And if they want to work with you, they want to get some good makeup tips or some skincare tips.
Well, I will have a website coming very soon, thanks to the beautiful Jamila Adams I'll be working with to construct my beautiful new coming to you soon website to purchase if you are interested in skincare. I do free consultations. I have these amazing luxury coffee and sugar scrubs, and they'll be on the website as well. My About Face Place, lovely lashes will be on the website as well. So just some of the beauty things that I offer on About Face Place, all one word, at About Face Place on Instagram, About Face Place as well on the socials, like you said, Jamila, the socials. I'm About Face at About Face Place. So it'll be all one word. And I would love to work with you. Like I said, I do offer complimentary consultations if you're just looking for some skincare advice and just kind of do a little Zoom talk with me for 15 or so minutes. And like I said, I also have my beautiful luxury organic coffee and sugar scrubs that help to exfoliate away dead skin cells, bring beautiful hydration back into the skin. And Tiffany will tell you because she loves it too. But no, just to connect, because I try to put up positive things, funny things, when I get on there, just to, help brighten up your day, so to speak. So definitely follow me there if you can. And thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And everybody to tune in for more of our Girl Powerhouse episodes. You can catch us on Mupo TV, download us on iOS or Android, or you can go to mupoentertainment.com and you're going to go down to Mupo TV for all of the episodes. Ladies, again, this has been so awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I love y'all so much. And look, go Girl Powerhouse.
Thank you.